Silver sailing along. He makes a wonderful old lady, not a doubt about it. A bit singular to look at, perhaps, but then just to think of some of your old ladies. And only leave them possible. He's no worse to look at than 2 or 3 I can think of, holding very high positions, too. Both the old gents had their eye on him, though I fancy Sir Francis is favorite. But, old Spettigue fancies himself. College gents will do anything.
What are you laughing at?
I was just thinking of an old aunt of mine.
Huh?
Uncle, I mean.
Mind your own business and go and get tea. Do you see? Tea.
Tea, sir. Yes, sir.
Out here.
Out here, sir.
Yes, and don't stare like that. Oh, I've got special permission.
Oh, beg your pardon, sir.
And now, where's Kitty? I must have a chat with her. And everything's going on all right. Babs did bite life out of me 2 or 3 times. The way he walked into things, as if he had had food for a month. Well, anyways, I've given her a hint to meet me here, where we can talk quietly. And, oh, here she is! Oh, I must take an appointment with Kitty, so hug it.
But so much,
With Kitty?
No, with Amy.
Oh, well then we made appointments in the same place. What are we to do?
Well, they're your room.
Yes, but you're my guest. Oh, come on, we'll toss for it. Got any money?
I got keys. And I have money, that's all.
Oh, very well then, so done. Heads you and Amy, tails me and... Oh, here she is!
Jack, that's all the money I've got.
Oh, Mr. Chesney, there you are.
Yes, I was here, in fact, waiting. I was beginning to fear you wouldn't come. Now, why don't you go? Have you no tact?
What's about me and Jamie?
Ah, Mr. Wickham, there you are.
I was coming, I'm here.
Oh, beastly awkward. Oh, I say, Charlie, has Mrs. Betty seen the garden?
Yes, Jack, we have. 2 or 3 times. In fact, we've just come from there. I wish she'd leave us.
It's a lovely garden, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose it is.
Suppose? Oh, you haven't half seen it. Charlie, Mrs. Pettigrew hasn't half seen the garden. Take her and show her the roses, primroses, and cabbages and things.
But Jack,
And why don't you tell her those beautiful lines of yours? To our garden in summer.
Jack, don't tell I read poetry. She'll think I'm awful lost.
Well, don't forget, Miss Pettigrew. See you in half an hour.
Very well, Mr. Chesney.
But Jack, the others at the garden, and where's the light like we see Bob?
Well, don't. It's a large garden. Keep out of his way. And alas, Miss Bush, we are alone, and I can talk to you freely.
Don't you think it was rather selfish of us, Mr. Chesney, to send them away like that?
Well, we tossed for it.
What?
I mean, they'll be much happier together alone, and it seems as if we can only get 5 minutes without some miserable interruption. Well, I was beginning to fear you'd think me awfully rude, neglecting you as I have done.
Oh, no, not at all. I quite understand. I couldn't expect you to devote yourself entirely to me. Indeed, we've had a very pleasant time, and now...
Oh, yes, and now?
Well, I was thinking we ought to be going now.
Go? Now? Oh, good gracious, no.
But why not?
Before I've had a word with you? Oh, Kitty. My dear Kitty. Won't you sit down? I have something to say to you of importance.
Indeed, Mr. Chesney?
Well, you know, there are times when a man must think a lot and think long.
I suppose so.
And there are times when a man mustn't stop to think. Or if he does, he shall lose his chance forever.
Yes?
Then, Miss Virgin. Kitty. Oh, my dear Kitty.
Oh, I beg pardon.
Oh.
No, don't mind me. I only wanted a word here with my son.
Then I'll run into the garden to see the roses and the primroses and the cabbages and things.
Now what is it, Dad?
You know, I'd do anything to see you get on in the world, and make a mark, as I know you will if you get your chance.
Well, you needn't tell me this, Dad.
And having thought it over, I've decided that you shall continue the career I originally mapped out for you. And seeing a way out of this difficulty, I've decided to take your advice, my boy, and marry a lady of wealth.
Oh, I see. You've fallen victims of fascinations of some young and lovely...
No, Jack, she's not lovely, and I'm afraid she's not over young. But she has one thing in her favor. She has money. And that's the real object in this instance.
Well, as long as you're satisfied, go in and win.
And I give you take, my boy, for the tip.
They, me for the tip? Oh, why, Dad, I don't remember. Who is she? What's her name?
You'll be delighted when I tell you.
Yes, well?
Can't you guess?
No, Dad, I can't.
Donna Lucia de Amadores.
The deuce! Oh, Dad, this is impossible!
Impossible? Why? You yourself suggested it. And for your sake, my boy, I'm going to do it.
No, but Dad, you can't.
Can't? Why not? Is there anything against the lady's reputation?
No, but Dad, you mustn't. You can't.
Mustn't, can't? Why, Jack, what a boy you are. Didn't you tell me to go to the hotel, change my things, put a flower in my buttonhole?
Yes, but she gave it away, Dad.
She's explained all that.
Oh, but Dad, you're too good to be thrown away like this.
Say no more, my boy. Your consideration for me settles it. It will put you forward, Jeeves. If she had been young and lovely, she wouldn't have taken a second look at me. And as for old Spettigue, in spite of his marked attentions, I don't think he has a ghost of a chance with me.
Oh, Spettigue. Attentions? Oh, great heavens, what are we doing? Dad!
So wish me luck, my boy, wish me luck.
Now, take time, Dad. Think it over.
Think it over? That's not the way an old soldier makes love. I'm going into your room to get myself a rattling good spanking brandy in order to bring me up to mark.
Oh, now what's the young monkey doing?
Jack, I wish you'd speak to Buzz. He's carrying on disgracefully. He's taken Amy from me, and he's gone off around the garden with her.
Well, that's nothing to what's going on here. Now, do you hear that?
Yes, what is it?
That's my dad getting himself a rattling good spanky brandy and soda.
Brandy and soda? What for?
To propose to Babs, that's all.
Propose to Babs? I knew something awful would come of this. We shall be bad and disgraced. How could you let it go over?
Oh, well, don't blame me. There's a party gone on ahead on not knowing her mind and leave us in the lurch. I could strangle her.
Well, what shall we do?
Now we must find Babs and put him up to the governor's game.
Find Babs. But Jack!
Now come on, go in different directions until we got him.
But Jack, can't you understand?
Now hurry up and shut up! We must find him or we'll ruin everything. Now go on, go on!
Now I'm ready for anybody or anything. Why doesn't she come? I didn't tell the dear boy, more particularly when he raised objections. But time's up! Time's up! Ah, my dear Lucy. That old fool spetting you, and with my flower in his coat. Are you in want of anybody?
No.
What's he stopping here for? I must tell him to go. Are you in want of anything?
No. I was only thinking it's a very lovely afternoon. Perhaps you haven't seen the garden. It's looking very beautiful. You want to give it a good look before you go?
I will. Before I go. What's he stopping here for? Have a cigarette?
No, thank you. I never smoke in the daytime. Why does she remain? She promised me to be here in 10 minutes. And time's up. Time's up.
What's he doing here for? He needs to leave.
I wish I could think of something to get rid of him.
Well, as you're not smoking,
Oh, don't mind me. Don't mind me.
I only thought it'd be as well if you rejoined the ladies in the garden. They might think it rude of us both being here.
Perhaps so. Perhaps so. She's in the garden.
She doesn't seem to be coming. I think I'll go and have another.
Oh, I say, Dad, you haven't seen Donna Lucia, have you?
No, Jack, I've not.
Oh, well, that is fortunate.
But I'm to meet her here.
Wait, you're waiting for her here?
Yes, Jack, I've an appointment with her. I didn't tell you before, but she's due. In fact, she's overdue. So get out, my boy, get out!
Oh, they mustn't be till I've seen him. Oh, now to come to think of it, Dad, I saw her only a moment ago.
Oh, where?
In the garden.
In the garden? Hang it, I just told Spetting you there.
Well, I know he isn't there, but where on earth has he got to? I say, have you found him?
No, haven't you?
No, and I've looked all over the place for him.
Oh. And the worst of it is, he's got Amy with him. It's a shame.
Now, I will kill the monkey when I get a hold of him.
Look at him.
Oh, Mr. Wickham, there you are. Did you think you'd lost us?
Yes, I'm afraid I did.
Now, where have you been that girl, you fool?
No,
Now stay, I have something to tell
Oh,
you.
have you?
Now, Charlie, has Miss Betty, you seen the chapel? Take her away while I tell Babs. It's an awfully pretty chapel. You must see the chapel.
Jack will punch his head if he does it again.
Now what did you give me by this game?
What game?
You promised to help us.
I'm doing my best.
Doing your best? Your job is to look after those two jets. Instead, here you are. But I've no wish to argue.
No, I shouldn't argue if I were you.
Now look, I want to put you on your guard.
Oh my God, oh, well, thank you.
Yes, my dad is going to propose to you.
Is he? Well, that's all right. I'm not going to marry him for you or for anybody else. I'll have your hands first.
Well, of course not, you idiot. All you have to be is, you have to be calm and refuse
But
it.
call and refuse him, but a proposal puts anyone in a flutter, you know that.
Now, all you have to do is remember that you're a real old lady.
How am I supposed to remember that with these trousers on?
Oh, never mind your trousers. Oh, now look, here's my dad. I'm off.
Yes, but what am I to say? I've never been proposed before.
Oh, say he's taking you by surprise. But whatever you do, mind you refuse him.
Oh yes, I'll refuse him.
You know, it's too bad. She made the proposition herself. It was a definite proposition on her behalf. Well, ladies are perverted. Ah, my dear Lucia. I was beginning to be afraid, and popped into the garden to find you. It's so good of you to come. Won't you sit down? By Jove, got her at last. Now for the plot. I'll begin with a compliment. I wonder what her real age is. However, a woman's never too old for a good compliment, so here it goes. Donna Lucia, you'll pardon the rude metaphor of an old campaigner, but to meet you today, for the first time, as I've done, is to me like a lonely traveler coming across some bright little flowerette by the wayside.
Do you mean me?
Yes, I do. By George, that's a good
That's
start.
what I say to that. That was very nice and very kind of you, yes.
Donna Lucia, do you know what a man longs for when he's lonely, desolate, and wretched?
A drink?
What a woman doesn't help one bit. No, Donna Lucia, this is what he longs for. He longs to plant in his heart that bright floweret.
Oh yes, the one by the wayside. Does he really?
Yes, and I've come all the way from India to find it.
Oh, well, you must be tired. Take a chair.
Thank you. It's a long way now.
Oh yes, quite a long walk.
But I have found it.
Well, then why don't you put it in your buttonhole?
Will you let me, or will it be given away to another as you've done before?
Oh yes, I remember that. I was a naughty girl this morning.
But dear Lucia, the floweret, I mean, must sit at the head of my table, walk by my side, dwell in my heart forever.
He's going to show me a trick.
But I'll waste no more time. I'll come out with a soldier's bluntness. Will you be my wife? Will you be my floweret?
You see, you've taken me by so much of a surprise.
Then I may hope.
No, don't hope. I shouldn't hope about it.
Do I understand you correct?
I must refuse you. The fact is, I am another.
Another?
Don't be too downhearted. I'll tell you what I'll do if you like.
Yes?
I'll be a sister to you.
A sister?
Yes, a sister, nothing more.
And no words of mine can alter your decision.
No, I'm afraid not. You see, I'm in a more peculiar position than I could ever explain. You see, I'm a woman with a history.
Then it is useless our prolonging this interview, and you'll accept my apologies and regrets for ever broached the
Oh,
subject.
certainly, whenever you're passing.
Refuse. What a relief. I'm sorry, though, for the boy's sake.
Cheerio. Ciao. There's another beautiful mess.
You fool! Why did you make a father like that for?
I didn't make a fool of the fool like the fool, you fool. Do you hear what he called you?
Yes, a flower egg.
Yes, by the wayside. That's a nice thing, isn't it?
Now why didn't you just cut him short and refuse him at once?
I couldn't refuse him until he proposed. No lady could. I'd see myself in the divorce club before I know who I am. Oh no, he's all spectacle. I shall land him one, I know I shall.
Ah, Sir Mr. Chancellor, have you seen... Ah,
Now what the deuce did you both like that for? Anyhow, they don't like my future happiness. Now I must find Kitty. And why couldn't Charlie's aunt behave like a lady and turn up as promised? Instead of giving us all this trouble. I'm beginning to hate the sight of that woman before I've even seen her.
First door to the left. Thank you very much. First door to the left, the man said, Ella.
Yes, here it is. Mr. Jack Chesney. Shall I knock?
Yes, do, my dear. Chesney. That name, it sounds familiar. Why couldn't my nephew remain in his rooms and not compel me to follow him about like this?
You telegraphed to say you couldn't come.
Yes, I know.
And then you changed your mind.
Yes, for about the first time in my life.
Why?
Some vague desire to see him without his knowing, that's all. Knock again, dear.
What is it that I told you in the garden? I could roam about these old places all day. Isn't it so beautiful?
Dream away, Ella. I shall wait till someone comes.
Oh, to live amongst these leafy shades, ancient spheres and sculptured nooks, like silent music, a scholar's fairyland.
Yes, but to one sublunary being, not quite so young as she used to be, a little fatiguing.
How lovely must be by moonlight, where the shadows have no sullen fears, but are folds of the mantle of sleep, and all is peace. And the silver bells chime to the central angel of the night, who smiles at heaven and whispers back, all is well, sweet bells, all is well.
You fanciful little woman, but what has put all this about angels and so forth into your head today?
I don't know.
I think I can trace back all the byways and slyways of thought that generally lead in one direction.
No, it's all so sweet here.
So it was there, by moonlight, seen on the bridge of a certain yacht. The rippling sea, the blue night, the brilliant stars. You see how I remember your words, and a certain someone who said to you as you listened to the chime of the ship's bell that you looked like the angel of the watch. A flattering tongued person that someone was. What was his name again?
I've told you so often.
Lord Fancourt Baverley. But I don't want your mind fixed on these things, dear. Why, I'd almost forgotten to tell you. I've invested your poor father's money, and because of his forethought for his little girl, has rendered you independent for life. And what's worse, independent of me.
Independent?
But you won't be.
No.
For I've grown to love the little girl I met in a strange land so many years ago that I am not independent of her. So let's make a bargain. Put that dreadful evidence of my dependence aside and let it grow and be my little girl and call me Auntie, will you?
Yes. Auntie. Yes.
Dear, how did your father come about such a large sum of money? I thought he'd lost it all.
Papa won to cards.
Won it at cards? When?
During his illness.
Oh, from whom?
Lord Fancourt Baverley.
Lord Baverley? Is he a gambler too?
No.
Oh.
Auntie, should we ever meet, may I give it back?
Honey, I don't think he'd take it.
Why not?
Well, it seems to me he took an awful lot of trouble to lose it. But I'm not going to speak for him, dear. I don't want you to ever leave me. You've set me thinking now.
Have I? What about?
About someone who...
Oh, do tell me.
compliment, a blush, and then he was ordered away with his regiment.
Without ever.
Without ever.
Auntie.
It was at a dance the night before he went away.
And you've never loved anyone since?
I was a sentimental young lady in those days.
What was his name, Auntie?
Frank Chesney.
How strange.
I'm afraid we're intruding.
Not at all. The college grounds are open to everyone. I am, so to speak, at home here, merely because these are my son's rooms.
Mr.
Chesney.
I beg your pardon, sir, but are you, or rather, were you, Lieutenant Frank Chesney?
I was.
And you don't remember me?
I acknowledge with regret that I have no recollection whatever.
Well, it must have been more than 20 years.
20 years?
He doesn't remember me.
20 years is